So thank you guys for jumping on the call. I know it is Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. I know that most people are spending tonight with their families or laying on the floor with a belly full of turkey. I know that Tanis and I both have our turkey bellies going on right now, hardcore, but we are making time for this call because it is so, so important to pay it forward. It is so important to help our teams, our people, anybody that's getting started with Isagenix, helping them to step forward, to be able to launch forward into action. And that's what these calls are all about. So this is our number 4, part 4 of our Back to Basics series. I am just so, so excited about what these calls are doing. Last week, we had a call with Heron. She jumped on and taught us all about healthy mindset. So if you guys weren't on the call last week, definitely let me know, private message me, and I will get you the recording. But it was so incredible to see these steps that we're able to take, practical steps on how we can move forward, how we can take what we are learning, how we can take our wish, how we can take our opportunities, our plan, and put it into action. Now, tonight's call gets me super fired up because this is one of my home girls from Canada. Her name is Tanis Heron. So if you guys are calling from New Zealand or Australia and have not met Tanis or had the pleasure of meeting her, I'm going to pump her tires up right now, you guys. This girl is incredible. I met her at a celebration event when I first moved from New Zealand and Australia back to Canada. She was one of the first leaders I met in Canada, and she literally opened her arms up to me and said, girl, I support you. I'm running with you. I want to encourage you. I want to help you every step of the way. She has literally got one of the biggest hearts I have ever met in my life. Just to give you guys a little bit of a background on this superstar, Tanis got started a few years ago, and she has hit 20 promotions through Isagenix so far. She's literally going to be talking about leaving tomorrow for her one that she's just won to the Cayman Islands. But I'm going to read these out to you. I was going to just say, oh, she hit 20. But then I thought, no, I'm going to show you guys what she's done. She has won Leader in Action, first #1 Leader in Action. She won the January Jolt, the February Frenzy, the March Madness, the Krusty Rapid Reset, the Championship Cruise, One Sweet Summer, Sweeter with Friends, ISA Rally Team #2, Executive Summit, Step It Up 2-star, Top Achievers for Canada and Bahamas, you guys, Dash to Disney. She got this trip to Peru, which is so funny. Tanis, you're going to have to tell your little trip about Peru, about like how you didn't even know where it was. It was so good. And how she won this trip and it changed her life. She also won, when she won that Peru trip, there's only 2 Canadians in there, and she was first place out of the Canadians to win that. She earned a trip to Ottawa to go to Celebration. She won the Jim and Kathy Coover promotion. She's just won the Cayman Islands, where she's leaving for that tomorrow. She is number 44 income earner in Canada. She's won Women of Isagenix and the Shooting Star Award. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to Tanis Heron. Tanis, I'm going to unmute you, girl, and I would love for you to share your story about how you found Isagenix and about how it changed your life.
Wow, thank you so much for that introduction. Every time somebody reads my bio, I'm just like, wow. And that list is continuing to grow. The next promotion that we're running for right now is to earn a trip to Montreal. So, that's the next one on the list. Like you said, we are going to Cayman Islands tomorrow, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But for me, I'd love to share my story and how I got started in Isagenix. I was introduced, so I started Isagenix March 2016, where, at that time I had 3 beautiful children. I have a wonderful husband, Dustin. We've been married 7 years, 20 years together already. It's crazy next month. So for me, when I started Isagenix, I just had my 3rd child. And at that time, I was the heaviest I've ever been. I was suffering from postpartum depression. I was miserable. I was in such a dark place at that time in my life. And previously, my neighbor sold me another company that box showed up, and it just went to my sister, and it did not taste good. I was like, no, I don't even know what to do with this box, and here you go, you can have it. And then and when she got introduced to isogenic, she approached me again, and I was like, no way, because I was a big skeptic, of course, because I tried everything out there. I tried all of the coffee diet, the pills diet, all of the other diets out there, all the different shake diets. So I was like, no, I am not getting involved in this. Once again, that other box just sat there. And, for me, my routine was so bad. I would send my other two to school. I would come home, sleep with the baby, wake up at 2, have coffee, and then binge eat all night. And I was miserable. I was unhappy. My marriage was falling apart. And, I just didn't know what to do. But every day I drive my kids to school, I would see my neighbor gardening at 8 a.m., waving and like, hi. I'm like, oh my God, who gardens at 8 a.m.? I was like, no. But the more I seen her, she started to get the ice aglow. She just had a baby herself. And I noticed that the weight was coming off. So one morning I came home, went downstairs, because my husband wasn't working at the time. So finances were tough. So I just went downstairs. My son had a brand new PlayStation because he was an Xbox person. And I put that PlayStation on Kijiji to buy my first brown box. And then, it's about my brown box showed up. 9 days in, I started to feel the energy. I started to stay up and be present. My back, I started to go for walks. I started to garden at 8 a.m. So all of this stuff in about 45 days, where I lost 19 pounds and 27 inches in 45 days. So I started to share these incredible products. And, for me, I hit executive pretty fast within, less than 4 months in the company. At that time, I just knew Isogenics was incredible. The products were amazing. I had no idea what network marketing even was, or, that I was a part of somebody else's system that, wasn't really true to my heart. So I started to compare. I started to get discouraged. I then quit the business, never the products, just because I just didn't know, and I didn't like what I was involved in. And, I was really comparing to other people who had, more years than me under their belt. So I never quit the products. It was about 6 months without sharing. And what was it? December 2016, I received an email, and it said, you have a chance to win. There was a promotion going on to get you to Toronto. And I thought, oh, my cousin just moved there. I haven't seen her in 8 months. Maybe I'll go and visit her. I miss her. So I ran for that promotion. I earned that promotion. On my way there, I thought, how do these promotions work? Do I have to pay them back? Or, I better go check in. What if Kathy is going to call me to pay back this money? So I checked in. I got my backpack. I walked into that room, and this is my very first event, and everybody was jumping around, all happy. You could feel the energy. It was like 8 a.m. on e-shots, and I was like, whoa, what is going on here? Everybody's like hugging you, and I'm not really a big hugger. And so I was not my normal, but I liked it. So I sat at the back of the row. Throughout that event, I heard speakers who were encouraging, positive, who had life struggles just like I did. And, I moved up right by the end of that conference. I was right in the front row. February 2017 is where I decided to go all in, never look back. And since then, to date, I've helped 5,500 people in my downline. Which is pretty incredible to me, because I always think back, like, if I said no or didn't go to Toronto, how selfish would I be?
Yeah.
So, and then since then I've earned 6 figures, all 3 years in Isogenics. I've earned those 20 free trips with Isogenics. But not only that, it's my team now who is also earning all of these trips and incentives. And, Peru was life-changing. I'll share a little bit about that because, what I'm going to talk to you guys about, how we win these promotions and um, all of these incentives that Isogenics has to offer is paying attention to the details is number one. So for me, a card came in the mail and it was like, congratulations on your running to Peru. And I was like, oh, you're sitting number 5. I go look at the list and I was like, oh, wow, I'm beating Jackson Parr. This is incredible. And I asked my husband, I said, where is Peru? And he's like, oh, it's in Pakistan. And I was like, oh, okay. We just dropped off our kids, went on our way. And that night I Googled Pakistan versus Peru. And, maybe Pakistan is pretty, but Google doesn't say it's pretty. And I was like strolling up and I was like, oh my gosh, I do not want to run for this promotion. So I told my sister and I was like, I am not going to run for this one. It looks scary. She's like, why? Peru is beautiful. I was like, it's not in Pakistan. She's like, no. I'm like, okay, goodbye. That was so, it's really important to pay attention to details, especially knowing where you're going.
Yeah.
And since then my life has changed, been so incredible, and the best part for me is really helping others achieve the same thing. Yeah. And for me, showing them what's possible. So it's been about 2.5 years and it's been a great journey.
That's incredible. I'm thinking it's been 2.5 years and you have won 20 trips, like not counting the one you're leaving for tomorrow. It's just incredible, Tanis. I'm so inspired by you. And I think you're just so incredible. And honestly, you guys, if you guys haven't heard Tanis's full story of even before Isogenics and what she's come from, this girl is amazing. And so I'm just so grateful that you're here. I would love to ask you some questions about, first of all, when you started, you were saying that you said before you got started, you went to executive and then you stopped because you felt like you were comparing and that the way that you were sharing Isogenics didn't really align with who you were, or it wasn't really working for you. Can you talk a little bit about how you were sharing and why it didn't align with who you were?
Yeah, so for me, I run Facebook groups. That's where majority of my connections come from. It's my community that I kind of speak to, my avatar. But before then, other people's systems that I was a part of, I wasn't allowed to reply to messages, certain things like that. I wasn't allowed to do. And I was just like, this is weird, why can't I send a message? They're asking for more info. So just certain things like that just didn't align with me, and I didn't agree with paying $10 a poster, for sharing a challenge or certain things like that. So, that wasn't how I wanted to run my business. So in February 2017, I really thought, okay, I could do this, but I can't worry about what's above me, I just have to worry about from me down and focus on that. Yeah. But I have to put in the work. So I had to plug into calls. I plugged into everybody's calls, the corporate calls. I plugged into the training, the tools, everything possible just to learn, what Isogenics really had to offer and what network marketing really, was. So the more number one, I was consistent in showing up every single day. Consistency. When I left Toronto, I made it a standard to talk to 3 to 5 new people every single day, and then that became easier for me. And it was 3 to 5 new people every single day. So whether I met them, in soccer, in the grocery store, on my Facebook, or in my Facebook group, I was connecting with 3 to 5 people, and throughout now, every single day, I have to talk to 10 brand new people every single day.
Wow. You talk to 10 brand new people every single day. That's amazing.
every
So
single day.
can I ask how you're connecting with these people? These people you already know, are they already in your network, or are they people just like new people, like you making a point to go to the coffee shop, or you're making a point to go to the grocery store? Which areas are you meeting them in? Is it just everyday life, or are you making a point to join a specific group or join like Facebook groups that people are inviting you to and connecting through that way?
Yes, come from my
Oh, I think we had.
yeah. So majority of my can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Sorry, I think my
You
internet.
can hear me, Rachel?
Yeah.
Okay. So every single when I first started and building my group, so I started with my friends and family in my Facebook group. And then I started to do giveaways. One time I did a giveaway of a shaker cup, this sample, $11 shaker cup. Add your friends, for a free ballot to win a free shaker cup, right? So that gained 1,500 people in my group from just $11 shaker cup. And then I started to be creative. So I started to join groups that are in my interest. So whatever you like to do. So for me, I love cats. I love reading. I join book clubs. And in these groups, every single day I add value other than isogenics. I ask for recommendation, or I'll go give a recommendation. Maybe a girl read a book that I love. I'll go comment on there and just start building those relationships in that group. So, when I say 10 new people, it doesn't necessarily need to be about isogenics. It's just about having that connection and conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, if I, in my Facebook group, I grew my group of people, and I don't know all 10,000 of those people. So, if it's like the last hour and I'm talking to 8 people, I'm going to go into my members and just say, hey, Samantha, I noticed that you've been in my group for the last 2 years. I'd like to introduce myself. I hope you are enjoying it. If there's anything, that you need, or if you would love more information about what it is that this group is about, just making that conversations. Um, for me, with my Facebook group, I'm sorry that it's just for me and my team. I don't let other isogenic people within my group because it's against compliance. At some point, I was nice at one time, and I got reported because sometimes I run different incentives in there. Long as it's a closed group, you can do that. So that's just one thing. And I have a whole training on Facebook groups that will be coming out after ICU Vancouver.
Awesome.
That will be put on isogenics, that you guys will have all access to that exactly how you connect in there, build your avatar, adding value. So in Facebook groups, you need to add value. You need to create engagement posts at least 2 times per week. Conversation starter posts. And you guys, you can Google all this stuff. You could Google engagement posts, you could Google conversation posts, you could Google interaction posts. And when posting, consistency is very important. You need to post at least 3 to 5 times per day and adding value. So when I talk about adding value, posting recipes, asking or giving recommendations, showing your journey and your lifestyle. Maybe you're having an e-shot, take a picture. Maybe you made an awesome smoothie bowl, share that. Welcoming your new cleansers, getting your customers to post into your group. Their box opening has been so engaging within, other people are seeing, oh my God, they got their box. So that's been adding a lot of value. Sharing transformation photos, product spotlight. We always highlight a product, but we don't post our like isogenics articles, our links, or anything in there. Motivation, encouragement, we're posting.
Tanis, is there a reason why you don't link like anything to isogenic links that you don't post in your page, or if this is all in your group, right? This is just in your group page.
yeah, this is my prospecting group. So I run 4 groups. So then there's, my prospecting group. There's my business group. So business group is where my entire team, and then there's our team coaching group where, everybody that gets signed up within Isogenics, they all go into one coaching group. And then our challenge group. So I run 4 groups, but everybody that joins my business starts their own Facebook group. For me, that's a first sign of leadership when they're getting started in their Facebook. So, say I have a new business builder coming on, she would be in my group, but she would not be running her business out of my group. She would then start her own Facebook group. And then,
That's incredible.
Along the way, she's going to show her. Yeah.
That's
so,
really cool.
You really think about it. We have about 70 Facebook groups within our team, and I'm hitting over 500 prospects. If you really want 500,000 prospects, if you really want to think about it, within 70 groups. So say maybe Tanya has 5,000, has 7, somebody has 9, another person has 10. Combine with everybody's group, and really it's the first sign of leadership they have in posting in their group. So, in Facebook, put articles in my prospecting group because they go into the coaching group.
Right. That's awesome. That is probably the first time I've ever heard like that before myself. I've been in Isogenics for about a year, but I've never heard of really launching your people into a step of leadership by having their own group so that they're really showing up authentically and they're bringing their own networks and their network into their group. I think that's genius. That's really smart. I love that. That's so cool. I want to ask you another question. So aside,
and you don't have to worry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I think we got a bit of a delay. Go ahead, Tanis.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about like my. Oh, you're really cutting out.
I think. Are we okay now? Can we hear each other? Are we back on? Can everyone hear me okay?
You're back on.
Okay, great. Sorry about that. I think it's just a bad internet connection. Okay, everyone's saying it's better. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Tanis. Whatever you were going to say there.
Well, I just said it's really good for my prospects are my prospects. I don't have to worry about checking who, sometimes, maybe I have a brand new person that just got started and she added her friends. You could always see who added who. So say, Samantha just got started. She invited 5 people. Brittany is inquiring. I know that Samantha added her. So boom, right away, I could help develop a consultant out of that.
Right. That's awesome. So when we're talking with people and we have these steps, so each leader has different steps. And I love that we were just in Vancouver with Jim and Kathy Coover, and you were up on stage and you shared about your steps on how to help like introduce your first person. So say you've got a new prospect from one of your groups. How would you approach them? What would you say to a new person about Isogenics? What would be your basic steps in pretty much letting that person know about what Isogenics is about?
So, if they do inquire, and, yes, I should send you all these slides, Trina, but I could send you I'll send you the verbiage on this that you could hand out. Sure. So, first step, if they're inquiring on a conversation post, maybe it's a heart post, are you looking to lose, 5 to 10 pounds? Comment within one of these hearts, the heart post. A lot of us seen that. Yeah. I'll tell you a bit about our nutritional cleansing system. We are a program that replaces 1 to 2 meals a day with our superfood shakes. Our products help naturally release toxins, and and then it's just broken down. And I really, what sets us apart is we're completely organic, natural, soy-free, gluten-free, we have the full money back guaranteed. Are you looking for weight loss, more energy, better performance in the gym? Did you reach a plateau? So I'm asking these questions. If so, do you mind me asking what you are looking to lose or achieve, so I can recommend the best system for you?
Right.
And then my part two of that would be, just explaining a little bit about our cellular, like our toxins and, our cleanse for life. And then our third part, they usually come back and say, I'm looking to lose this much, or, this much weight, or I'm looking, to perform better in the gym. And then I always say, okay, great. I would love to send you, our 3 most popular packages that have 2 shakes a day that I recommend. So then I send the breakdown of all 3 of our packages, and then with the picture all the time. Visual is so important. And then, when they come back to me, oh, that's too expensive, then I meet them where they're at. I always say, what are you willing to invest into your health? Or what is your budget that you are willing to invest into your health? And, then they come back. And then I send the get started package with all the 4 packages on there, less than 200, and usually that catches their eye. So that's normally what I do to get them started.
That's awesome. Do you want to share just briefly about your raspberry cheesecake girl?
Yeah. So with her, she retired now in June.
Wow.
It was like she shared her success story, on one of our calls, and she actually brought up our conversation for when I first got introduced, where she reached out. And it was March 2016. She reached out asking about what our program was about. And then, then I never heard from her for a whole year. So then that was June 2017. She got signed up. She inquired, no, she didn't get signed up then. She inquired about something, a challenge that was going on. And then it was June 2018 where she reached out to me asking about, I sent a visual of raspberry cheesecake. It was our seasonal limited edition shake. And she's like, oh, I'll get 2 of those. And I said, sure, I'll put it to my bulk order and I'll come to my house. You'll just have to pick it up. And it was about a month later, and she reached out and said, hey, do you still have the raspberry cheesecake? And it was my favorite shake. And I was like, no, I'm going to be down to 2 shakes if I give these 2 away. And she was like, sure, come and get it. And she loved it, and she got started in it. She got started because of those 2 raspberry cheesecakes. And then a year later, she, came. So that was June 2018. She came to Nashville, and then
thanks, right?
Yes. So then she came to Nashville, caught the vision, and then earned Dash to Disney. She earned the Ottawa trip. She earned the Elevate to Executive. She had 5 free trips within this year and was able to retire from her social working job. And she now does isogenics full time now.
That is incredible.
And that was, yeah.
I just think that's amazing. And, I think the biggest story in that, and what's always stuck, like when you shared that story from the stage in Nashville at Global Celebration, it was the fact that we get so caught up, you guys. At least this was what I got stuck on when I first got started, was I have to sell the weight loss value pack. It's got to be that. It's got to be the top one, or I'm not going to be able to build my business. And it was like, some people can't get there at that point. And it's okay. It's okay to start somebody on a bottle of Ionics and a canister of shake. It's okay to have 2 raspberry cheesecakes, because you never know where that person's going to end up. You never know if they're going to be your biggest builder on your team, right? It's not about the PIBs all the time, right? Yes, it's important to build your business. Yes, there's certain things we can do, but always also remember that this really comes down, and this is one thing I learned last night when we were on a call with Irene Miller. It comes down to the heart, right? It's all about the heart. We got to lead with the heart. If we lead with the heart, we're going to win every time. And you did that. You led with the heart. You gave your 2 canisters of raspberry cheesecake away on top of the fact that you couldn't even really give it to her. And you did that. And because you led with the heart, that lady was impacted, and now she's been able to retire because of something you did. And I just think that's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. And she had to come pick up the raspberry cheesecake, and it was in June, and we had that conversation a little bit about I think I was getting ready to leave for a trip. Nashville. I was getting ready to go to Nashville, and we were talking about that. And then, she's like, "Oh, I'd love to go on to Nashville." I was like, "You should just join my team." And started that little conversation because we had to meet belly to belly to pick up that raspberry cheesecake. And, she came back and went home. She loved the raspberry cheesecake and phoned me up, and a week later got signed up.
That's awesome.
And then right into the business.
That's so cool. So Tanis, you've shared a little bit about your verbiage. You've shared about how your new prospect, like how, first of all, you find prospects, how you help your team to build their prospects and to be able to reach out, and certain posts you do. These are so, so key, you guys. All of these steps are so important in building our business, because especially if we're using social media to connect. And you mostly connect on Facebook, right, Tanis? Not so much on Instagram.
No, I don't do Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't. Okay. Just Facebook and Facebook groups. And now, because I will be talking a little bit on this panel too in Vancouver. And the number one, question on there was, the number one question that, Mac's going to ask on the panel is, think about my last sign up, and where did I find my last sign up? Where did they come from? And so for me, when I was really thinking about that, I was thinking, wow, it came from my Facebook group, but then I take it to the messenger and I take it to the phone, and then I meet belly to belly. But when I first started to build, you guys, I'd put a business post up, like, looking for 5 people. And I used to be so scared to reach out. There would be tons of like me interested, more info, that kind of stuff. And I wouldn't reply back because I didn't know what to say. I was like, whoa, I just put this out there. I didn't think actually, people would respond. And then now, I love meeting belly to belly, meeting people in person and going to, do their box opening with them. Tanya is one of my biggest business builders. And I thought at first she was crazy. She's like, no, I want my box to go to your house. You're going to come meet me at the restaurant. You're going to come and do this box opening with me there. And you're going to tell me everything about what Isagenix has to offer. And I was like, I could just do that on the phone. Like, I don't want to go meet you. I don't even know who you are. And, so that was really scary. But that 3-hour conversation turned into an amazing relationship where she's still by my side today.
That's awesome.
She's my second executive developed on our team.
That's so cool too, Tanis, is that there's kind of a treasure in what you just said, is that sometimes when we feel like we are in a really uncomfortable situation, it's actually sometimes leading us to exactly the way that we need to show up authentically in our businesses. And so sometimes, like, I was actually looking at this yesterday, it was like the safe zone. I'm going to butcher this, but it was like the safe zone, the something zone, and then the actual like achieving zone. And there's these 3 different zones and how it can make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. So safety zone is like staying in the position that you're in. Then there's the process where you're feeling stretched and you're like, oh, this is uncomfortable. I don't know if I can do this. And then you get to that 10% zone where 90% is still in the safe zone, but 10% is in that other zone where you're actually achieving those crazy goals and you're having breakthrough and you're winning these events and you're stepping out and you're getting these awards and you're getting paid and you're helping your team get paid. And that's that zone. And I think a lot of the time we push against that, where you embraced it and you're like, okay, here we go. And it actually turned out to be one of your favorite ways of sharing and showing up in your business. I think that's awesome.
Because you think you need to know everything. And me at that time, I thought I needed to know everything. I was like, great, she's going to ask me about everything in the ionics. She's going to ask me everything about the shake. Because, if you know Tanya, she's a very strong, independent woman and comes across very just like, bluntly and just, so I was like, intimidated almost, she's gonna ask me every ingredient. Oh my god, I took You guys, I took every book that I had to make sure that I could flip back, but it didn't turn out that way. It was actually going, I just talked about my experience. Okay, she's like, well, what's the ionic? Okay, well, the ionics has tons of adaptogens. It really gives you more mind clarity, focus. It's like the best thing. I call it the bottle of gold. It's the happy mom juice. And she laughed about it. So I didn't know all of the ingredients in the ionics, but so most of us really get scared about that, and I was there. And now, the more that these trips and incentives that I earned, it's meeting different leaders all around the world, and just hear the like-minded people who are doing the do. Like, I met Rachel in Peru, and that was so incredible to meet her and her friends there. And she reached out, and we had this great connection since then. And I didn't know who she was up until I come back, and I told me, I was like, oh my God, this millionaire Rachel, like, talking about her. And I was like, it was amazing that I get to meet amazing people all around. That's the best part of winning these incentives and earning these trips for me.
Absolutely. So Tanis, what would you say, like you're showing up now, you're showing up more belly to belly, you're showing up, you're still doing your groups, you're still connecting that way, but are you going from, like, when people respond back to you about their pack and they want to get started, does everyone want to just order just by you sending messages online and then you go meet with them with their box? Or do you connect with them, they're a little unsure, and then you still go and meet with them belly to belly to kind of build, I would say, trust with you? Is that what you would say?
Almost. So it all depends. Like, every person that gets signed up with me, I am on the phone doing a box opening. They are not allowed to open that box with me on my phone, and I make that clear in my welcome email. Do not open the box until you are on the phone with me. So, because sometimes it gets really overwhelming, and I just want to have that connection with them. Wow. And then the number one thing that I go over with them is the new associate checklist. I ask, there's the new associate checklist for business builders, and then for, happy product users. So that's the one I normally go. But always in there, there's, I always leave with, you can learn, are you interested in learning how to get your products paid for? So the more you practice this new associate checklist with every box opening, and just all these questions flow. And I don't do every single question on that list, but I do majority of them. And then I plan, I walk through what their day would look like. We go through what everything is, and I just build that connection. And while I'm talking to them on the phone, I have my binder here where I put the new associate checklist in with all of them. So, if I want to go follow back, I'll just look in my binder of who I enrolled in September, if I want to check in, all of that. But the new associate checklist is, one of my go-tos.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I think that's really key. So you don't talk to them about paying for their pack when they're interested in the products at all. You do that when their first pack comes. I love that. I love that. That's so cool.
I plant that seed, whether they're interested or not. I just plant that seed. I go through the questions. There's a lot of great questions. If you guys, I heard Kathy Cooper, you guys talk about the new associate checklist 9 times. I've been to tons of events, and every time she's been talking about this. And that is her system. That's exactly what she does in her build, and that's Kathy Cooper's system, that new associate checklist. And I finally started to implement that into my business, and it makes a huge difference because I have that connection with people. I'm coming across like genuine, and just really seeing their goals. There's a lot of great questions to build a relationship with somebody. And then really the number one, I know where they're at, right? What's their commitment level? So I really, really
love you, Rachel. Okay, cool.
So I really make that connection with them because I know where they're at. Maybe they're not ready to get their products paid for right now,
Yeah.
but they might be ready along down the road. And when I follow up, I'm still going to follow up with that same associate
That's
checklist.
really awesome, Tanis. Like I love this approach for me, especially because I care so much about people feeling comfortable. I care so much about people not feeling the pressure. I care so much about, them having the option to pay for their packs, but I don't want them to feel like with network marketing, even like with what people think isogenics is they think it's multi-level marketing, which is there's two very, very different things. But with network marketing, there's such a stigma about, okay, like who do you know? And let's get your this paid for. And then it's this person on this side and this, and it can get so much so you almost lose the fact that that person just really wants to get healthy. And then they've got that, like just the fact about taking new products and taking a new regimen and maybe having family members that are not supportive. And then all of that in one little month and then adding on, okay, let's get your pack paid for. It can get overwhelming. And I think you can almost lose people by coming that way. Sometimes I know I've had really great success on one side and I've had really not great success on the other, and it all depends on who you're dealing with. And I think that just relieves all, like it just takes all that off the table for even potential added stress. And using that checklist when their box comes from and saying,
exactly,
hey, just so you know, because then it's a double positive, right? They're going to get their box, they're going to see that they've made their first step, they're feeling good about it. Now you're there to support them, and now you can say, hey, like look at this, you guys. If you're interested in, and I know for me, like when I started, I had to sell my Xbox or whatever your story is, right? Now there's an option here where we can get your pack paid for. Is that something you're interested in? Oh, you know what? No, I'm fine. We're just going to try the products. But they were going to remember that you asked, right? That's so cool. I just love that. That's
and the more you get comfortable with that new associate checklist, those questions just flow off for you. Like it's just like it's like isogenics gives us the tools, you guys. And for me, like I said 9 times before, I was like, man, Kathy keeps talking about this, I better like check this out. So I did, and I was like, wow, these questions on here are so, it doesn't make the conversation weird or awkward, when you're talking about getting your products paid for. It doesn't. It honestly, you guys need to take a look at it and just really practice that. Start implementing that into your business. Keep track with every single person that you sign up. So September, I have all my people that I signed up. Now I'm in October, and I could go back. I go back, I take a look. When we're doing a cleanse day call, I'll go back to Samantha and take a look and continue jotting information about Samantha. Where she's at, how many pounds she's down. So this is just my whole track of keeping my customers happy, and I know where they're at. Maybe I hear a dog in the background. So what are kids? I'm gonna write she has 2 kids. So when I do follow up with her, we're on the phone having the conversation. I can be like, how are your kids doing? How's your dog?
Yeah, that's so great. And when I was in business school, we learned that about, like, we would create a spreadsheet. We would have the person's name, the day that we actually made a contact with them. We'd ask them, or learn a personal thing about it. We'd write that person out, like, oh my, they were in the middle of planning their daughter's birthday party. So the next time you follow up with them, you'd say, hey, how was your daughter's party? Then they feel like, you know what, you actually really do care. And it's not to say that we're just doing this so we can seem like we're caring, but we are tracking a team of sometimes, like you said, 55 to 1,300 people or 13,000 people. Like that's a lot of people to be checking in with. And that's what I've started to do on my side with our Hutterite colonies. Is there's so many people, and I want to remember, like, this is his wife's name, and I met his daughter, and yada yada, or whatever. And it helps to connect when you get back there and build that relationship of trust. Is really, like, when people are trusting us with their health, it's so important that we care about the details of the other bits of their life too. So, well, Tanis, this has been an incredible, like, amount of information, and just so much, like, I don't know about you guys, but if you want to just give Tanis some love about how, if you've taken something from this, or, just say, like, thumbs up or give her a heart or whatever in the chat box. But I want to open this up for anybody right now to ask any questions. Like, you know, this has just been for me, especially like I know your story. I've heard your presentation like 2-3 times at different events, Tanis, and I learned something every single time I listen to you. And I love that about you. You've just got this incredible down to earth heart, and you're just so relational, and you care about everybody, depending whether they're financially linked to you or not. And I just think that that's why you're, you know, one of the main reasons why you've just been leveraged right to the top is because Isagenix is all about family. It's all about, you know, friendship. It's all about heart. It's all about, you know, character and integrity. And those are all qualities that you naturally have, and the way that you show up. So we've got some questions here. If you guys want to unmute yourself, you definitely can just jump on and ask Tanis some questions, or you can ask them in the chat. Yeah, everyone's
and Trina, I could come back to another call because I know we had to cover, you know, part 2 of, you know, how I win these promotions and stuff.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
I could come back after. I won't be available till about October, like November 1st.
Yeah, absolutely. We should do a part 2 to this for sure. Does anybody have any questions that they want to unmute themselves, or just put in the chat box me and I'll unmute you if you're not too sure. No questions so far. It's been so good. I'm sure everyone is just like loving this. Yeah, absolutely, Erin. Thanks so much for jumping on the call. So let me think here.
When you start, what does it say? When you start them? Oh, Sarah asked a question.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me just unmute you, Sarah. Do you want to just go ahead?
Yeah, so you were just talking about when you start communicating with someone new, and like they're kind of not at the point where they want to buy a 30-day system, but they might reach out to you about like wanting Ionics or something like that. When you start somebody, would you add them to your order, or would you start them on their own and make them pay the shipping and all that sort of stuff? Like, what's the soft start to get them hooked so that they
it all, yeah, that's a really great question. So it all depends. Normally so whether they're starting on a shake, you know, a shake, Ionics, natural accelerator, and shaker cup, they're getting started on their own system. So yes, is that 100 BB? No, it's not 100 BB. But they're getting a product. They have their own wholesale account. Sometimes if I'm putting in a wholesale order and they live locally to me, or maybe they just want to try 1 or 2 things, yes, sometimes I put it through my account, but I always say this: you cannot return. This is the difference between starting your own account and coming through my account. You cannot return any of these products, and that's the risk you're going to take because it's coming through my account. And me as a builder, I am not obligated to return anything from my account. Yeah. So I make that clear to them. And then it's like, oh, well, how much is the membership? Oh, well, it's $29. Here you go. Okay, I'll just get my own membership, because what if I don't like it and I want to get my money back, right? So that's what I kind of do. Everybody's different, and you know, every conversation is different. You know, I've been doing this now 2.5 years, really all into the business, and the number one thing for me is I'm always plugging in. I'm always willing to learn new things. I'm always, you know, listening to other leaders and picking up things and making them my own, because I know my team best, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome, thank you. It's just because, as Trina was saying, we kind of get a lot of pressure to sell whole system, and that's just not where everybody's at. So
no, it's good you meet them where they're at. And you know, we have the 4. Let me see if I could pull up something here if you guys, because I don't know where you are, but let me see. I'll pull up this here. You know, when people come back after the three packages, you know, and they say those 3, you know, the better, big, or you know, those, I always then I send them this pack here, the get started pack, you know. So it's the everyday shake, the shaking cleanse, you know. So okay, great, what are you willing to invest into your health? We have these 4 amazing packages here that are all have free membership, well, you know, under $200, and some of these our free membership ARE codes work on these also, with our promotion that we have within Isogenics. So all of these packs here are under $200. So, it starts that conversation. So I lead a lot and sign up a lot of people with these packages too. The Meet the Needs with Kathy Coover really came from us with having dinner with her in April. We had a dinner. She asked me exactly what I do and how I get people, because 70% of my team is Indigenous women. They come from a very poor community. They're all, like myself, I came from a very poor community, suffered from, traumatic life experience, and same with my team. So when Kathy asked me that question, I said, I meet people where they're at. I meet their needs, based on their situation, based on, what they can afford or invest into their health. And I shared, most of my business builders came in on these little packs, or, a 9-day cleanse, or I customized a 100 BB order for them. So, I really appreciate that she brought Meet the Needs and gave us $10 on these packs that we were customizing. So, that's what I kind of do. I just meet people where they're at. It's not about me. It's not about the double PIBs. It's about them, and it's about helping them, because I have so much belief into these products of what they could do for me. And yes, most of the time people say you want to get the wow factor. Most people in 9 days consuming 1 shake a day and having ionics, they get that wow factor. If they were really poor nutrition, otherwise they feel it in 9 days.
Wow, that's incredible, Tanis. I love that. Like, oh, I'm learning so much from this call. Is there any questions? That was a great question, Sarah, and great answer, Tanis. Is there any other questions that you guys have before we wrap this up? It's just about 9 o'clock. We're doing so perfect for time. We got 2 minutes left. Any other questions? It can be Isogenics, personal questions, just anything about your team, anything about the products. Just go for it, you guys. If it's your last 2 minutes with Tanis before our next call with her in November.
Yeah, and I'll teach you guys all about the promotions in November.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be great. All right. Well, I guess there's no more questions for tonight because you've covered everything. It's amazing. Like, honestly,
Awesome.
I'm just so grateful for these times. And, I just love that every single Sunday night, you guys, we are going to be doing this. I made a commitment 4 weeks ago that I thought, you know what, listen, if I have things to learn after being in a year in Isogenics, I'm learning every single day. Like, every day I feel like a new person on the block. And I am just retaining more stuff from these leaders that are willing to jump on and teach us, you guys. Like, this is gold. This is the top people in the business that are jumping on, taking the time to teach us. So, take advantage of these calls, take advantage of the fact that these leaders are opening up their hour to you to ask them anything about their business and how to grow, and so that you can be able to show up authentically and show up from the heart. So I just want to welcome you guys to next week's call, happening at 8 p.m. Mountain time. That's Calgary, Alberta time for anybody that's coming from another country. If you don't know how to use time zone converter, I get a lot of questions about time zone. So jump on Google, use time zone converter, punch in Calgary, Alberta, 8 p.m., and then you can figure out what time zone you're in and join us for next week's call. I have not locked down the guests yet, but I have a feeling that it might be one of the people that were on this call tonight, but had to jump off a few minutes ago. So I'm so excited. This is an international call, you guys. This is an open call for all of your teams, anybody new or old. If it's their first day in Isogenics, or if they've been in for 12 to 14 to 18 years, it doesn't matter. Everybody's invited, and this is just so that everybody can build together. So bless you guys. Thank you so much, Tanis. We appreciate you so much and everything that you are and what you show up as in Isogenics and what you're leading us to in the future. So love you, girl, and enjoy the Cayman Islands. We are so excited to learn about your building your trip and being able to qualify next.
Excited.
Great. All right. Well, smile, everybody. We're going to take a quick screenshot.
You know what? I'm so proud of with the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
Bye.
Awesome. Bye, guys.